Who are the one who actually gives the direction, guiding, motivating, counseling? Why exactly we do that? Directing helps to initiate action, push the employees so that the employees can perform better. Now just club these two examples and then you will understand why directing is very, very important. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Students, now we have come to the 7th chapter, that is called directing. So a quick recall, what all we have done is, we have done the first 6 chapters. It is all about the management, and directing is also the function of management. So in directing, what exactly you will come across? You will come across the meaning, definition, importance, characteristics of directing. So what exactly directing is? The meaning of directing goes like this. In a nutshell, I'll tell you, the directing means guiding people. What is it? Guiding people. Who are the people? The employees. Who will guide them? The manager will guide them. And why exactly he will guide them? So that they can get the works done properly, that too efficiently and effectively. There is something called the objective of organization, and that should be achieved by these employees. Hence, the manager will help them to direct all the things whichever they need so that they can actually achieve the objective done by the top level management. Here I'll just give you a hint what exactly happens, right? So the minute we go with these levels, we have 3 levels. That is, one is the top level, then comes the middle level, and then the supervisory level. Here what happens is, in the top level you have the C class. What exactly the C class is? That is a CEO, CFO, COO, all these people, they come under here in the C class. And here we have the managers we have, right? And here you have the supervisors, right? Now understand what exactly this directing means. Directing refers to the process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating and leading people in the organization to achieve what? Achieve the organizational goal. So that is what happens in the directing. So who are the one who actually gives the direction? Directing always go with what? The top to bottom. It is what? The top to bottom actually. And here what happens is, the responsibility is taken by the supervisory level. They are responsible to the managers, that is the middle level. The middle level is responsible to the top level. In the same way, here also if you see, the top level have authority over middle level will have authority over supervisory. Here this authority comes, right? Now understand here what exactly the process is. The process means what? It is a continuous process, step by step it goes with it. So the top level will give the instructions, right? The instruction, and they guide and they counsel the middle level. So what the middle level does, they will give the instruction, they will give the counseling to the supervisory level, and then it actually continues. That is what happens in directing. So the meaning of directing is very, very easy to understand. What is that they'll do? They'll go with what? One is they will instruct, okay? Next is they will guide, right? And then here counseling will happen, then motivation will happen, all those things, motivation will happen. So what exactly they do? They will do something called, they'll push the employees so that the employees can perform better in the coming days. So this is what is called directing. So let's go with the next topic called characteristics of directing. What are the characteristics of directing? A quick recall of what we did about the meaning of directing. So what are they? Like guiding, motivating, counseling. Why exactly we do that? We do that because they need to achieve the organizational goal efficiently and effectively. The same way here, characteristics of directing. Where you have seen this directing, I'll tell you here, right? Now we have this here. We have functions of management. What is it? Functions of management. Here the first function is planning, then organizing, staffing. Here you have something called directing, and the last one here is controlling. So if you understand here, students, functions of management, you have directing. So what exactly it is? Directing initiatives, actions. Here, planning, there is no action. Organizing, there is no action. Staffing, there is no action. But when it comes to directing, yes, it initiates the action. That means what? Without directing, without telling people what exactly to be done, they cannot do anything. Though you have done planning, though you have organizing and you have people to work, but what exactly they need? The people need the direction. Who are the person who actually gives the direction? The manager is the one who gives directions. To whom? To the employees. Now the next one here is directing takes place at every level of management. I told you here we have these kind of a thing, right? So top level, middle level, supervisory level. Here everywhere directing takes place. The reason here is directing comes from what? It flows from top to bottom. So top level will give directions to whom? They'll give directions to the middle level, and the middle level will actually give directions to the supervisory level. That means it continues. That means everyone, whoever is superior to somebody, will give directions to the person who is a subordinate. That's why it is what? Directing takes place at every level of management. And the next one here is directing is a continuous process. What exactly directing is? Directing is a continuous process. That means without directing, you will not get to know what exactly will happen. That's why it is continuous. Every minute you need somebody called the superior to give directions to the subordinate, because there should be a smooth management function which need to go. And here the last one here is directing flows from top to bottom. I told you directing flows from what? Top to bottom. See, these are the characteristics of directing. Now I'll tell you what exactly happens here in directing. I'll give you a beautiful example of this Cadbury's. Have you heard about this Cadbury's company? Now Cadbury was started by a person called as John Cadbury. Now John Cadbury, when he wanted to start a company called Cadbury's, he initially did not had enough money, so he went to his brother called Benjamin Cadbury, and he directed him, saying that if we make a company like Cadbury's, that means we will manufacture our own chocolates in our formula. Now then what will happen is we can get more profit, because this is what the trend of the century. Benjamin Cadbury, again, he joined his hands with John Cadbury, that is the brother, and then they started something, and then that led to what? The Bonvilla firm in UK. Students, Cadbury is a company which was established in United Kingdom, that to England, and then they started the journey. Now I'll tell you what happened here. Both the brothers, right, John Cadbury and Benjamin Cadbury, they started to direct the employees what exactly they need to do. Now planning was there, that is they need to make a company which is like gigantic in the entire world. Organizing happened, they had this Bonvilla firm and everything. Now staffing also happened. They called the relatives initially, and then they started to hire people who can actually lead the company to a successful growth. And then directing happened, and directing, what happened was John Cadbury and Benjamin Cadbury with their son, they started to direct the company, and that is how Cadbury is right now very, very famous. See, understand, these are the things which you need to know. The reason is what? Directing is a continuous process. Now John Cadbury and Benjamin Cadbury are not there, but still Cadbury company is there. The reason is what? Directing is continuous process. And here what happens, students, if the one time, if you make profit and then you feel that the minute I go with any kind of a production, I'll make profit, I don't need to give directions to my people, people will actually automatically do everything, then you are wrong actually. Every time you need to actually think about how to motivate your employees, because I'll tell you, what today you are facing will not be the same when you are facing it tomorrow. The reason is what? Everything in the 21st century is changing. That is, the change is constant. That's why every level of management you need to have people who can motivate the employees. What they need to do? Motivate the employees. And how exactly they need to motivate is, they need to motivate for a positive change, not a negative change. Here you need to understand motivation is also what? A negative motivation is also there and a positive motivation is also there here. So these are the characteristics of directing. A quick recall, just go with it. Directing initiate action, it initiate action, then directing takes place in every level of management, top level, middle level, supervisory level, everywhere directing takes place. The next is directing is a continuous process. Now I told you about John Cadbury and Benjamin Cadbury. They are not there, but still directing goes on. That is why it is what? Perpetual. And the last one here is directing flows from what? Top to bottom. Now here bottom to top it cannot go. The reason is what? The supervisor level cannot give directions to the middle level and the middle level cannot give it to the top level. That's why it is what? It is always from the top level to the middle level. Moving on with the next topic we have is importance of directing. Students, now you need to understand the importance of directing, but before that, going with this, I'll give you an example here, one more example where you are supposed to understand. Now if you people are planning to go to a trip, say somewhere in Singapore or Dubai or Malaysia, wherever you want to go to a trip, what you people do is, first thing is what? You plan, right? So planning is done here. Now planning, you have planned, okay? Now what happens after planning? You will organize that where all we need to go. Now organizing is also done, that is bringing together three of the resources, that is physical manpower and which exactly you will go with finance, right? Now you have gone with these things. Now what happens is, who are the people you have actually thought? Done. Staffing is also done, right person at the right place. Now what happens here is, you will go with D, directing. Now what exactly the importance of directing is? Now I'm giving an example of a picnic. What is the importance of directing in a picnic? What exactly? Now here directing, what happens after that is the last one called controlling. Here directing helps to initiate action till staffing everything is done. So what happens here is, directing helps to initiate actions. That means yes, you are supposed to go to that particular trip, so you are going. That is what is called directing. Now here the next one is, directing integrates employees' efforts. Now everybody, whoever are coming to your trip, now even they need to actually look forward and they are supposed to follow what exactly you people are going. That is why it is here in the MNC company also it's the same thing. Directing integrates employees' effort. You will get to know दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी. That is what exactly they are capable of or they are not capable of. If they are capable of it, they'll actually do it very fast. If they are not capable, you are supposed to send them to training and development. Again, they'll come back to you and they'll be proper. Next is directing guides employees. Here directing, now you have thought about Dubai. Now the minute you have thought about Dubai, a person who has already gone to Dubai, now he is the best person to direct you where exactly you are supposed to go, so that your money is also not wasted, your time is also not wasted. Here the same way the MNC company directing guides employees, people who don't know, right? The employees who don't know what exactly to be done. Now the person who is directing them, that is a supervisor or the superior, now he is the one who will direct them properly so that they'll get to know what exactly to be done, that to what in efficient way and effective ways. So they'll get to know what exactly it is. Now directing facilitates needed changes in the organization. Now here also, when you go to Dubai, right? Now what exactly you should do and where you are supposed to go, what you are not supposed to do, everything is actually answered by what? In this process called directing. Here also the same way. Now just club these two examples and then you will understand why directing is very, very important. So from the starting, we'll go what exactly directing is. Here directing helps in initiative actions. You thought about something and now you are doing it. Here you are doing it. Planning, you just thought about it. Organizing, you are thought about it, you are actually getting it. Staffing, you have placed people who are the people. Now when it comes to directing, now the mission starts. That is what happens in directing. And now after that, followed by directing integrates employees' effort. That means what? Whatever the efforts of done by the employees, right? That you will get to know that whether these people are good to go, or they are supposed to go and get the training and development and come back. And directing guides employees. That means what exactly to be done, they'll not get to know until there is a person called superior or a supervisor who will tell them as a coach, saying that you are supposed to do this or you are supposed to do that. Now that is what happens, and there is a clarity in the employee's mind that what exactly the work to be done, Now, directing facilitates needed changes. Only when students, when you understand this, you will get to know the reality. When you want to study something, right? When you want to read something, until unless when you read it, until unless when you study, you will not get any doubts. The reason is what? When you go for the reality only, you will get to know what exactly is the boon or the bane. Here also the same thing. When you go for the directing, that means when you are going for the work, that is the time when it facilitates needed changes in the organization. What the change the organization need. Now the 21st century, I always tell you here, the 21st century, now what happens here is competition is too much. The reason is what? Cutthroat competition. All the company wants to beat somebody and then they want to move. That is the reason here. What happens is planning is perfect, but still there is a demerit of planning. What is it? All plans will not lead to success. Organizing there, that is finance, your manpower and your physical resources is there, right? Now here what happens is the finance, manpower, physical resources, everything is useful. The same way here in the staffing, what happens is a right person at a right place. Now you need to have proper person for the staffing. And now here the directing, this is what the very important one is, directing. The reason I'll tell you what, if you need to move to a profitable, that is wealth maximization and profit maximization, you need to have key players, that is they are the one who will motivate your employees. Only when they motivate your employees will have that kind of a thing that they need to go with productivity. Only when you go with productivity in 21st century, only then you can make profit. That is what happens here. Now, effective directing helps to bring stability and balance in the organization. That means what? Now, you need to understand Henry Fayol. What exactly Henry Fayol said is, now, students, who is Henry Fayol? You need to actually tell me who is Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol is the father of management. Henry Fayol is what? A father of general management. Now Henry Fayol always says that only when you go with this directing, right, you will get this kind of a slabs. That means everywhere you are getting a growth. This is what happens when you have people who can motivate your employees. See, that is why you need to actually think that who are the people who are really good, who are the people who are not good, because you need to actually go increase your productivity and sales. Only then in this 21st century you can survive in the market, or else you are out of the market. That is what happens in directing. A quick recall what we have done today. The first thing is, the directing meaning is it is guiding people, motivating, counseling them so that they can achieve the organization goal efficiently and effectively. Then we went with the characteristics, and then the last one is importance of directing. If you have any doubt, any questions, you can call us, you can message us. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.